What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live. Today, it's a normal stream. It's a very typical stream. We got picks against the spread. We got 9 games to pick from today. It's the second to last day of picks. We plan on doing a Saturday night stream as long as the spreads make sense and whatnot. We'll have an update on that once game times are announced and all of that. But the plan is to do a final day of picks against the spread, the last day of the regular season. 15 games go out with a bang. This is the second to last day of picks against the spread. So Eric right now is in the lead, but we'll get to that. The other thing we got to preview the Suns game. We got to break it down a little bit. I'm not sure if we'll have any guests. I wanted to bring Gabe Vaughn Carter from the Valley Podcast on here, but he never messaged me back yet. He's in chat, so I don't know what's going on with Gabe.
Gabe, message Tori back. Come on.
We wanted to bring him on, but I don't know. I don't even know if he's in chat anymore. Gabe's just being Gabe, man. But yeah, so we'll preview it with or without a Valley Podcast member. It would have been cool to collaborate though and get some insight from a Suns fan. So stream will probably go about an hour today. Alrighty. It's the weed. So I guess, I mean, we're a Portland fan base, so yeah, we got no problem with the weed. Just message us back, man. Message us back. Hit those DMs. We'll sort that out after picks against the spread, though.
He's going Hollywood like you.
I know, man. Look at Gabe. It's kind of scary. Anyway, let's jump into picks against the spread. Oh, what has happened to my voice? Okay, I think I'm good. Picks against the spread first, and then we'll sort out everything else. As far as records go, here are the records. I did tweet this out, Blazers Uprise, on the Blazers Uprise Twitter page. If you don't follow that Twitter page, at Blazers Uprise YT is the Twitter handle. Remember the YT. But these are the records. So everybody's been kind of struggling lately. Only 2 people are above 500. Eric's still in the lead. Chat gained a game, though. Chat is right on his heels. I'm 8 back. I got a bad beat with the Portland game. Portland being the 14.5-point spread on Monday. And they were up, 18-17 with only a couple minutes left. And then it was Ellaby time. It was Blevins time. Air balls, missed dunks, and the who did we even play that game?
Rockets.
Yeah, the Rockets brought it back to 11. And Eric picked the Rockets. I picked the Blazers. So that's a tough beat. That's a tough beat. Would have been 6 games back instead of 8. But Reese passes Zach. That's something noteworthy. Reese is doing the best on his double downs. What's funny is Eric is doing the worst on his double downs, yet he's leading. So he's just making all the right picks other than his double downs. But Reese is out here only 4 games back of me. So Reese has kind of climbed as the season goes along. Zach's in a bit of a slump. The last records I mixed up for him. Let me just let me fix that real quick, because yeah, I don't like having any mistakes. There we go. All right, there we go. So Reese went 4-3. Zach went 3-4. That's how Reese passed Zach. That is the standings. Let's jump into game number 1. Eric is ready with the injuries. He might lose his voice because there's a lot of injuries today. So game number 1, you got Charlotte. You got the Clippers. The Clippers are an 8.5-point favorite.
So for the Clippers, they only have Ibaka listed on their injury report. And for the Hornets, they are without Cody Martin, Gordon Hayward, and Miles Bridges in this one.
Okay.
The reason it's tough for me is I don't know if the Clippers. We heard about the Suns maybe wanting to fall to 3rd, but we don't know if the Clippers even want to move up to 2. So this is a tough one for me, but I think I'm going to go with the Clippers.
Yeah, I don't think the Clippers want to move up to 2 and face the Lakers. That's a big calculus in these games, is how incentivized are teams. Right now, the Hornets are they're on the cusp of the 8-9 seed. They're currently tied with Indiana for 8th and 9th. They have the tiebreaker, so right now they're 8th. They definitely want 2 shots at making the playoffs instead of 1. So I think you'll get an inspired effort from the Hornets tonight. The Clippers, I don't think, want to play the Lakers, so therefore I'm going to go Hornets with the points.
Yeah. I knew you would pick opposite me.
The logic makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
Big class, then.
Trevin, Zach. All pick the Hornets.
There we go. Eric's going to be on Lana Islands today.
That's all right. I'll just increase my lead.
If you're confident enough in your picks, then people going opposite shouldn't phase you.
Yep.
And you should be the most confident in your picks you're leading.
I'm just, for the record, I am making my picks early. I'm not trying to copy anyone or be accused of that once again. And yeah, so
next vote clinches it. It's Clippers 8-7. So chat is rolling with Eric. Everybody else is rolling Hornets. And that is game number 1. Game number 2, you got Indiana taking on Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a 9.5 point favorite. This game tipping off at 4. Lots of early games today.
yeah, so the Bucks have no one on their injury list outside of a like two-way player. That doesn't matter. And Pacers have all of these players out of this game. They have Malcolm Brogdon, Edmund Sumner, Aaron Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Karis LeVert, TJ Warren, and Miles Turner.
Jeez,
all out.
Bro.
Yes, so they basically have Sabonis and Justin Holiday.
Doug McDermott.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Eric's going Bucks. I
hope the Pacers save something for tomorrow night against the Lakers.
The Pacers have been playing better lately. They just beat Philadelphia by 9, Cleveland by 9, lost to Washington by 1, beat the Hawks by 7. So they've been playing better. But who'd they have in that Philly game? Yeah, they got TJ McConnell. Can't forget TJ McConnell. And Goga. Good old Goga. I'm still going to go the Bucks. I'm going to be kicking myself if it's Indiana, though. Because I said I was going to pick them in previous streams and then went against them, and it was wrong. Clean sweep for the Bucks, says Trevin. All right.
15-0?
I'm not sure. No, it's not. I don't think it's 15-0.
Oh, he meant cleans. Okay.
Like clean sweep in terms of the picks. Yeah. $14-1. All right. So everybody's going Bucks for game number 2. Game number 3, you got Atlanta taking on Orlando. Atlanta is an 11-point favorite. They had a lot of guys questionable that are playing in this game. Correct?
Or Atlanta, yes.
Yes. So Atlanta versus Orlando. Orlando is obviously Orlando.
So the Hawks have Snell and Reddish out. They had Bogdanovich, Trae Young, Capella were all questionable, and there was one other guy questionable. They're all playing. Mo Bamba got ruled out, so that leaves out for the Magic Bamba, Isaac, Fultz, Akiki, Michael Carter-Williams, James Ennis, Otto Porter Jr., and Terrence Ross.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I gotta look at how they've been playing lately.
I'm
going all out for this. Alright.
Hey, Reese, if you could check Discord real quick. Just have a couple of guys I'm questioning.
got Darius Thornwell. They got Iggy Brazdeikis.
Do they still have Franks?
I don't think so, sadly. I'm gonna go Hawks. Can't say I'm going opposite of you. 10-5 Hawks for chat. I just gotta be smart when I go opposite. Hawks not double down. Cool. Reese going Hawks, Trevin's going Hawks, Zach's going Hawks. Alright, so bang, bang.
Clean sweep.
Bang. Clean sweep for the Hawks. Game number 4.
Did real quick, was there an official count on that last game?
It's not a double down. Or
No,
on the Milwaukee game, 14-1.
13-2 or something. Okay.
I saw 14-1.
All right, thanks.
I saw 14-1.
12-2 was the final.
What? I'm so confused. What are these numbers? Anyway, all right. Game number 4. Miami taking on Philadelphia. Miami 2.5-point favorite. Reese says Joel Embiid is playing. Thibault got ruled out.
All right. Thank you, Reese.
What are the other injuries?
Embiid was questionable. That was a big one.
Oh, okay.
That's the only injury for the Sixers right now. Thibault out, and then for the Heat, Oladipo is out, and Butler is questionable. Last I saw. Let me see if there's an update yet on him.
So Embiid and Simmons are playing?
Looks like it.
Why is Miami favored by 2.5?
I'm seeing Butler as a game time decision. Does anyone have an update on that? Because that's pretty big. I'm guessing it's because Embiid was questionable. That's why the spread's like that. I'm taking Philly.
I mean, I could update the spread if it's different.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, you just checked it, right?
Yeah, it's still the same. Atlanta's went up 2 points. Atlanta's spread. But we're doing it based on the graphic. But yeah, Atlanta's changed quick. You said you're taking Philly?
Yes.
I'm also taking Philly.
Well, I was waiting to see if anyone had an update on Jimmy Butler.
Guessing no.
Okay, or not. People's Mix, please. I know you've been away from a while. We do things a little differently now. You wait till Zach says in chat, vote now, and you vote one time, please. And we do the double down based on the highest percentage of votes for it.
I don't think Jimmy Butler's status matters to chat. They're going Heat anyway. It looks like.
Okay.
It's close. Sixers. It's actually really close. I shouldn't have put Heat yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heat. Trevin's going Sixers.
Reese went Philly.
Reese went Philly. 8-7 Heat for chat. Do you know what Zach went?
Are we going to get a chat
Zach
island?
went Heat.
Uh,
Zach in chat going Heat. Everybody else going Philadelphia. Let's move on to game number 5. New York is a 5-point favorite against the Spurs.
all right, so the Spurs only have Trey Lyles listed on their injury report. The Knicks are without Derrick Rose and Mitchell Robinson for this one, but it looks like all their other questionable guys are going to play.
Okay.
Let me just confirm that the Spurs. Derek White is out as well for the Spurs.
He's
been out for a
pretty
while.
bad this year, though.
And Luka Samanic, it looks like he's also out.
Mm-hmm.
Or Samanich, Sandwich.
Samanich. Yeah, I've heard a bunch of different pronunciations.
Frickin' Spurs, man.
San Antonio's such a weird team to predict because they just blew out the Bucks by 21. I don't know if the Bucks were resting guys. No, the Bucks were healthy and they dropped 146.
Yeah.
They lose.
They get blown out by us. Yeah.
Nets.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks.
Haven't the Knicks been struggling too? Or is it just that Lakers game is so prevalent in my head?
Yeah. I think they've been killing it up until that point.
They beat the Clippers by 6. They lost to the Suns by 23. They lost to the Nuggets by... Yeah, I'm going to go Spurs. I'll take the points.
Trevin's going Knicks.
Trevin's Knicks.
Chat went Knicks.
Chat went Knicks. Reese and Zach.
I think.
Reese went Spurs.
I think Zach voted really early for the Knicks.
Yes, he did. All right, cool. We got a me and Reese against Eric, Zach, Trevin, and Chat. That's game number 5. Game number 6, you got Chicago. You got Toronto. Chicago is a whopping 10.5-point favorite.
Yes, and this game, since it's still an hour away, there might be some updates on it, but Valanciunas is questionable. I don't know the status of Jaren Jackson Jr. or let's see if Reese. Valanciunas is going to play.
Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson.
We're on Chicago versus Toronto.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was reading the wrong thing.
That's funny.
So for the Bulls, Satoransky and Troy Brown Jr. are questionable right now. Let's check and see if there's an update on that. But Daniel Tice is out. And for the Raptors, they have Lowry, Siakam, Van Vliet, OG, and Baines all out of this game.
But they got Trent.
They do have Trent. Oh, Paul Watson is also out. Rodney Hood is out.
Wait, so they don't have Van Vliet either?
Nope. Boucher, last I saw, is questionable, but he is looking like he's...
Oh, my goodness, dude.
So they have, no one.
But they've played well when they've had no one. That's the thing.
But they, usually have someone. They really have no
Yeah, they
one.
got former Blazers legend Gary Trent Jr. Oh, nope. Chill out, computer. Go away. Alright. Oh, God. I'm trying to see how these teams have been playing.
I'm just going to look up the Bulls real quick and see if either of those guys have an updated status.
We going try hard right now.
Still questionable for some reason. I need to get Reese's login to Fantasy Labs or whatever. Because all the sites I use are kind of slow.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Bulls. Zach's going Raptors.
The Raptors have also officially been eliminated from the playoffs. So.
Having the Bulls, too?
Yeah, it's possible.
11 games under 500.
I don't think it's official yet, but yeah.
So chat went Raptors, says Trevin.
Not double down, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Reese is going Bulls.
Man, this is a tough one. I feel like I'm going against my thing today and taking a lot of high point spreads, but I'm going to take the Bulls.
All right. Game number 7. You got Memphis, Sacramento. Memphis 8-point favorite.
Okay, now Valanciunas. Valanciunas looks like he's playing.
Okay.
I do not know Jaren Jackson or Grayson Allen's status. If anyone can help me with that, please. They both sat out their last game, I think. And for the Kings, they are without De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Tyrese Halliburton, and Robert Woodward.
So who do they have?
Hield,
Hilton.
Holmes,
Or,
and DeLon Wright, basically. Jaren
yeah,
Jackson.
it's not too bad.
Jaren Jackson playing. Grayson Allen's been out for a while. I'm guessing he's not going to play, but don't.
Another tough one. I hate picking these teams, man. These bottom feeders.
Zach picked the Kings. Trevin went Grizzlies. Where's that?
Yeah, Trevor went Grizzlies like right off the bat.
Okay. I'm just going to take the points and take the Kings, even though I do not like this game at all.
I'm going Memphis.
Okay.
You got Reese, you got Chat. See if we can get a clean split.
Reese
Reese is going
Kings.
Kings. Reese is going against me. When he goes with me, he has a lot of success. We have a lot of success together when he goes against me.
My thing under the Kings says Zer, because it's Zach Eric Reese. Let's go Zer, right?
Okay, banned.
Right, Isaac.
Banned by...
Not even here, man. Jeez.
He's on a beach somewhere. 12-3 Grizzlies for Chat. So it's a clean split. Me, Trev, and Chat going Grizzlies.
Last place and second and third.
Game number 8. We got 2 more. I forgot to hide these. You got Denver and Minnesota, and Denver is only a 2.5-point favorite.
So, Minnesota's without Culver and Beasley. The Nuggets, however, are without Morris, Michael Porter Jr., Dozier, Barton, and Murray, with Jokic listed as probable. So it looks like he'll play. But that's why the spread is so low, because on top of being out of several guys, Michael Porter Jr. is also not playing.
But they got almost Blazer legend Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Nuggets. I think this game is really important to them. And if they lose, it works out for us anyway. So,
don't we want them to win?
No, I want them to be 4th.
But I think it's more likely we're 6th and 5th.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Zach's going Nuggets. So they got Campazzo, Aaron Gordon, Jokic. What other guards do they got?
I know we're probably blanking on someone obvious, but that's a lot of injuries.
I don't think we are. Let's see who they played last game. I can't think of another guard they have.
King, they don't have Rubio.
King said they had Rubio. We're talking about the Nuggets.
Austin Rivers, yeah, that's what I forget.
Oh. Austin Rivers is trash, though. Can't believe Blazer fans wanted to spend $50 million to get him in. Well, not fans, people that cover the team wanted to pay $50 million in repeater tax to get Austin freaking Rivers. Just ridiculous. Shaq Harrison, yeah. I'm going Nuggets.
Kelly, despite what I just said, that's a very strong possibility. So,
all right, Nuggets for chat. Reese is going Nuggets.
Reese is sarcastically picking the Nuggets or something?
Yeah, I don't understand the context behind the way he said that. Trevin is going Wolves. So Trevin keeps things from being mundane. He'll go Wolves.
Monte Morris is out, King. Nice try again.
Game number 9, final game. You got Blazers, Phoenix. We'll obviously preview this later. Phoenix is a 3-point favorite.
Yep. So Nasir Little, Zach Collins out for the Blazers. For the Suns, they're without Cam Johnson, Langston Galloway, and Abdul Nader. But the big one is DeAndre Ayton is still listed as questionable. And we likely, unless someone has seen an update in the last few minutes, will not know if he's playing tonight or not when we make this pick.
Yep.
I am going to pick, before I see anyone else's and say, I am picking the Blazers based on what I said last night. And I'm upholding my word against Reese.
And based on the last time we picked the Blazers game, I am going to go with the Phoenix Suns.
All right. I knew you would do that. So.
Yeah, I can't get over that. Frustrating. But also second night of back-to-back for the Blazers and a team that has given him fits. If Ayton doesn't play the Blazers, I don't feel confident in this pick at all. If Ayton plays, I feel pretty confident, just given how Phoenix has looked like against us.
Jose Hernandez, and for anyone else who does that, you cannot do that. I mean, if you mistype the wrong team, you're stuck with it. You can't just then say later on, no, I want to change it to that.
Don't vote until you know.
Are counting. So. No, he just put the wrong team, but
yeah. Yeah. It just makes it hard on our guys. Makes it hard on Zach Landia. Blazers clinch for chat. What were the other 3 picks?
Trevin picked Blazers.
He says after hearing what CJ said, easily Suns. What did CJ say?
I have that quote for you in a minute.
All right, Trevin, you said was Blazers?
Yes.
And then Zach?
He picked the town. I don't know if Phoenix
he says Portland
is known as the town or not, but
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just going to give him an L every time he picks the town. There's just an automatic L at that point. All right, so double downs, and then we'll be finished with the second to last picks against the spread segment of the year. Just go back through these spreads slowly, and you guys can decide.
So it looks like chat's double down is the Bucks.
Okay. Do I want to do that? Do I want to double down on Memphis?
I'm doubling down on the Blazers. Screw it. I'll be stupid and let chat catch me.
The Blazers are going to be your downfall?
Yep.
That's good, because they were mine on Monday.
Thank you, guys. But yeah, so I'll go down. If I'm going down swinging, it's with the Blazers at least, right?
Yeah. Respectable.
And yeah, I am doing that because Reese is making me double down on my statement that I think the Blazers can go 3-0 if they win last night. So he told me I had to double down on the Blazers if they won against Utah last night. So I'm upholding that.
Well, it looks like everybody else is going Philly other than Chet.
So you're going
Chet
Philly?
was already Milwaukee. Yeah, I'm going Philly. Trevin is going Memphis. Alrighty.
Wait,
That was a
wait.
What?
Zach's not going Philly.
He literally said PH Town. It's Portland. PH. Can you just Zach, can you just vote in a way that's not confusing?
He says I'm doubling down on the Blazers. #tank season.
PH Town makes me think of Philly.
But he took the heat in that game. So.
Oh.
I went to go check his double down and it's like, no.
That could be a strat. Or do you have to double down on a team you pick? You could cancel out a game. But that's kind of soft.
That'd be dumb because then you could never.
You just go automatically 1-on-1, 1-1 in a game that you're not confident in. All right, so Zach's going with PH Town. Where's the H in Portland, Zach?
Trevin went Memphis.
Mm-hmm. Me, Reese, going Philly.
With it. Grizzlies favored by 8, and he's taken them.
I almost did it. I mean, Sacramento has a lot of guys out.
Yeah.
But Eric and Zach going Blazers. Me and Reese going Philly. Trevin going Grizzlies. Chet going Bucks. There we go. Alrighty. That is picks against the spread. So, do you want to get this out of the way first and then try and bring on Gabe? Do you want to bring on Gabe now? What's the plan?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, Gabe, if you're in here, you gotta message your Skype email, unless you have it, Eric.
I might still have it from last time we did that. Let's see.
Give me 10 to 15. Okay, that's fine. We'll give him 10 to 15. And we'll bring him on for maybe 15 minutes after that. I'm down. And get kind of the Sun side of things for about 10, 15 minutes. So, okay. So, what's everybody talking about that apparently I don't know?
I mean, this... I think it's kind of a joke, but... So, Jay Allen posted... Love this response from CJ after Utah shot 12 of 40 from three-point range last night. Quote, when they make every shot, you guys blame our defense. So when they miss, you should probably blame our defense too. End quote.
Well, if you're leaving guys wide open and they make shots, and then you're leaving guys wide open and they're missing shots, you're still leaving them wide open. So maybe don't leave guys wide open. Not a crazy concept. Yeah, your defense gets blamed because you leave guys wide open from three. You don't defend the three-point line well. In the Utah Jazz game, they didn't really defend the three-point line well. Like, I don't understand how CJ, doesn't get that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can love that quote either, because the context is literally, it's better defense to leave guys less open from three, and it's worse defense if you give up open threes.
So
that's the context.
We had several people. So someone quote tweeted Dwight Jaynes saying, "Blazers using that hope they don't miss defense to great success tonight. Jazz missing a lot of open threes." Mm-hmm. And Jay Allen responds, 12 for 40 next.
It's not even. He's not even disagreeing. Dwight Jaynes isn't saying they didn't shoot 12 for 40.
Yeah. So guys like Kevin said won't work in the playoffs. Smog says leaving them open is not going to work out 4 out of 7 games. And so yeah, they're all saying but it was it was a good strategy to leave Utah shooters open, considering who they had in the game. But here's the problem. So everyone's like, oh, look, they held the Jazz to 98 points. It's only the 5th time all year they've held them under 100. But in the playoffs, it's not going to be like Forrest shooting those shots and One and those guys, right? It's going to be Mitchell's going to be back, Conley's going to be back, and it'll be all Conley, Mitchell, Ingles, Bogdanovich taking all those threes. Clarkson, it'll be those guys taking all those threes. None of those other guys are going to factor in very much. I mean, Niang might play a little bit. He's been shooting the ball really well this year, but yeah. So it's crazy to think that in a game where a team's missing a bunch of threes and it's mostly like scrub players that means anything for our chances at playoff success when we gave up that many open threes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that might be a good strategy last night because it obviously worked out, but that absolutely cannot win you a game or a series in the playoffs doing it that way against good teams.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shot quality is important. You know, offensively, if you hit a bunch of tough shots, it's harder to sustain than if you're hitting a bunch of open shots. Mm-hmm. So literally the context is shot quality. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's try that defense tonight against Phoenix, Eric. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess they don't have Cam Johnson, right? He beat him the Forrest role like that. But yeah, they still have Crowder and Bridges and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's the thing. That's why this game is a litmus test. Now, I kind of hope. Okay, the Blazers need to win this game. Part of me hopes Ayton plays though. I want to see if we can beat an elite team at full strength. Because we haven't really shown that. Like, when was the last time we beat a top 10 team that wasn't missing an all-star or a star level player? Can anybody come up and chat with the last time we beat a top 10 team that didn't have a star missing? I'm not trying to take
Philly,
it.
The second time we beat Philly, I think.
Yeah, because did we lose to the Heat the second time?
Yeah. I think Embiid and Simmons played both games.
So it's been 3 months?
I'll look it up, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of... You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take anything away from the Blazers' good 10-game run they're on. They've won 9 out of 10 games, and they were kind of struggling against mediocre teams. So obviously they have improved. I'm not trying to take that away from them. But they haven't proven it. They haven't proven their improvement at a high level. Now, if they come out against a full-strength Phoenix team and beat them, then I'm buying more stock in that than any of the 9 games they've won in this 10-game stretch. Because that's an elite team. And that's the thing we've said all season. Like, our style of play can work against mediocre teams. It struggles against elite teams. And that's what we've said all season long. So they haven't beaten, like, an elite lineup during this 10-game stretch. They've beaten some elite teams, but they've been teams that have been having stars missing.
Yeah, so we did beat Dallas on... What day was that?
Are they
March 19th. They're probably right fringe. I think they're right around top 10. Because they're tied with us and we're like 9th or 10th, I think.
Yeah, so that's the best win in the last 3 months.
So that was March 19th, so almost 2 months ago. They did have Porzingis and Doncic in that game, but then the next night we got blown out by like 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did beat the Warriors, who I don't think are in the top 10, but a few days before that we beat the Warriors with Curry and Green. I'm just going through it, like even like somewhat close to that type wins.
Because I mean, on this 10-game stretch, let me see if I can pull up the Blazers schedule here.
We won at the Mavericks too, but yeah. So going back to the Sixers game on February 11th was that game.
Yeah, starting with this 10-game stretch, they played the Pacers, who were missing T.J. Warren, Domantas Sabonis, and Malcolm Brogdon. Or Miles Turner. Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis, T.J. Warren. They beat the Grizzlies. They're not a top 10 team. They're not even a top 8 team in the West right now. Then they beat the Nets, who were missing James Harden and Kevin Durant. They beat the Celtics, who are missing Kemba Walker, and they're not a top 10 team. They lose to the Hawks. Then they beat the Cavs. It's the Cavs, and the Cavs missing Darius Garland. I mean, that's not smart, but the Cavs suck. Then they beat the Lakers, who are missing LeBron James. They beat the Spurs. It's not a top 10 team. They beat the Rockets, terrible team. They beat the Jazz, missing Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell, 2 guards that were all-stars this year. You know what I mean? So it's a good stretch, but, like, if I looked at the schedule and you told me all these teams were healthy, I'd be like, oh my goodness, we figured things out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness, we're ready for the playoffs, 100%. None of these teams, like, every good team we've played has had a star missing. So that's kind of the thing. That's why I'm not buying too much stock into this. Like, I am confident in us against mediocre teams, 100%. We have a ton of talent. But what are we going to do against the best of the best? Does our style of play work against the best of the best? We haven't had a chance to see us against the best of the best in a while.
And, I mean, everything you say is true, but at least we won 9 out of 10 instead of talking about how we've blown some of these games and cost ourselves a chance at avoiding the play-in. Because as of right now, we're still in position to get a top 6 seed. And so in case you didn't see my tweet or you're not on Twitter, there's only 2 scenarios that we fall to 7th. Both of them, we'd have to go 0-2, and the Lakers would have to go 2-0. And the two ways that we'd fall to 7th in that scenario is if Dallas goes 2-0 or 1-1. So those are the only possible ways we can fall to 7th, is if all 3 of those things happen. So the Lakers go 2-0, the Blazers go 0-2, and the Mavericks either go 2-0 or 1-1.
Yeah, that's correct. So, I mean,
it's looking
hopefully
pretty
we should
good.
just take care of it today and don't have to worry about the 7th seed today.
Yeah.
But also, if we don't, then at least I picked the Suns. And you doubled down on the Blazers.
Yep.
So if the Suns win by 1 or 2 points tonight, I will be pissed. If they win by 3, it's going to be a problem since the spread was 3.
Yeah.
You'll have 2 double downs for you and Zach on the final day. But
Carson asked, "What about the 5th spot to clinch that? If we win both games, we are the 5th seed. If we lose one, it will matter what Dallas does. If they lose,
the magic number against Dallas is 2. Yeah. So any combination of 2 between Blazers wins and Mavericks losses, unless of course like there ends up being a 3-way tie if like us and the Mavericks lose out, and then the Lakers tie. Because obviously the Mavericks win a 3-way tie, but we win the 2-way tie with them. So that's kind of confusing. But it's essentially 2. If we win and the Mavericks lose, we clinch it. So we could clinch it before that final day of the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Which would be amazing.
Yeah. It's a situation where we will have a chance at the 5 seed on the last night of the regular season. Because if Dallas wins and we lose, we're a game behind. We still have the tiebreaker with them. So if we win the final day and Dallas loses the final day, we still get the 5 seed. So that will be alive to the end of the season.
Unless we win and they lose.
Yeah, like we can clinch. I'm just we would have the 5 seed. I'm just saying like we won't be eliminated from the 5 seed until after the final regular season games. Yeah. So this is what the playoffs bracket looks like. If anybody's curious, toss this in here for context. This is as of today.
And I think this is the best possible scenario. Is if this holds up, we have the Nuggets in the first round, and then we play the winner of the Jazz and whoever gets the 8th seed in the play-in. And that's our side of the bracket. And the opposite side has both the Clippers and Lakers and also the Suns. So that's arguably the 3 best teams outside of maybe the Jazz. Obviously, record-wise, Jazz are the best. But in terms of teams we might not want to play, I feel like all the other teams are in the opposite bracket in that scenario.
Mm-hmm. Now, if the Warriors beat the Lakers in the 7-8 playing game, and then the Lakers win
Right.
the
That's
next game, they're the 8 seed.
Mm-hmm. I was just
What
saying
a series
if,
that would be.
if the seeds hold, but yeah.
Yeah. So obviously things are in flux even after the end of the regular season, just with this play-in tournament. But first round matchup, that's ideal for Portland. That is definitely ideal.
And it would be awesome because if we made a run, we'd only have to beat one of the LA teams, or the Suns if they happen to knock off one of them, which would be amazing. If we fall to 6th and the other seeds hold, we likely have to beat maybe even both the Clippers and the Lakers to move on to the Western Conference Finals, which would be a very daunting task. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we lost in the first round in that scenario. So it's quite a difference these two games can make seeding wise. But the problem is some of these teams can also flip seeds ahead of us, like the Nuggets Clippers or the Clippers Suns and stuff like that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Suns fall a couple spots either.
Yep. So we'll see if Gabe comes through and follows through and gives us some insight on his Phoenix Suns for tonight.
But without Ayton, it becomes a much different game because when you're talking about like Kaminsky and Saric and stuff like that, they're more like stretch bigs versus worrying about the alley-oop stuff that we talked about last night. So it's much different game plan if those two aren't or if Ayton's not playing versus he is. So I agree with you that it'd be kind of nice to see our team against a good team like the Suns at full strength. Not sure if that's going to happen or not, but it'll be interesting to see that play out. I mean, I don't think you can put Ayton not being there up with like not having Conley and Mitchell last night or anything close to that, but it's still a different dynamic that we haven't seen much of lately that I'd like to see how they defend that.
Yep. All right. Gabe says he's ready. I don't know if you have his Skype because he never messaged us back. You got it. On hold. What in the world? All right, hold on. Let me get this squared away. All right. Is Gabe in here? We got everybody in here? Oh, me, you. No Gabe. Let's go, Gabe.
It's 2 of 3 in call, yeah. Gabe's not.
I mean, is Eric not talking? Nah, Eric. Can you guys hear Eric? You guys can hear Eric. I can hear Eric, and your guys' audio, by the way, is just what plays through my headphones. So, Coach says he can't believe that we use Skype. Well, that's how we're able to do. That's how we're able to do this. That's how we're able to do that, man. Instead of using the what you guys use.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear my generic text message tone that I just got?
Your generic text. Gabe is having trouble signing into Skype. I'm just entertained by this, honestly.
It wasn't
Blazers
even
Uprise
ready.
Live. We're listen to it. Get a green screen.
Rippy.
For the graphics? Evan, wait. How would a green screen allow... Wait, what? Because graphics are in front of us, not behind us. I've thought about getting a green screen, but I don't know what I'd do with it.
Yeah. Are we just going to ignore the fact that you're drinking juice box on?
What's wrong with the juice box?
Like, Like Bonnie says, what are you, 12?
Bro, I took 2 pills of Tylenol because I had my
Did you
second
have a
vaccine
soccer game?
yesterday. Oh my god. No, I'm not Reese.
Where's your orange slices?
I had my second vaccine yesterday, and I woke up and I didn't really feel. I don't know. The side effects were weird. I felt like everything was just an overdrive. But I took 2 Tylenol and I'm feeling pretty good right now. So that's good.
Good.
Evan says you can do so much more with a green screen. I like normal backgrounds. I wouldn't. And how would I do it for Eric? You know what I mean? I don't know how I do it with Eric. I like what we got. Oh, there he is. He found his Skype password and now he's in the call. I need to set up a better setup than me being half the screen and you guys being split. But that'll be the future. What's up, Gabe? Oh, I can't hear him. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
We get to watch him struggle. That's a fresh hat though.
Do you have your audio muted?
Do you know sign language? Gabe Von Carter.
If you click the little 3 bars and go into settings, audio, video.
Yeah, connect your mic is the input.
Yo.
There you
There
go.
he is.
Okay.
Hey,
man,
What's up,
you
kid?
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Man, I watched this video you guys posted like 3 years ago where you were hooping at like some Portland.
Oh, was that the Rip City 3-on-3?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Man. I was just watching that before you guys came on. I was like, oh my god, how did I forget?
That's
That was
that
fun, man.
Dude, I mean, obviously with COVID, they're not going to do that necessarily anytime soon, but
They
I swear,
canceled
if you guys ever need another one to run with you, I will fly out there.
You will fly
Oh,
up.
God.
I will wear a Blazers jersey while we play.
Dude. I mean, Evan has to trade the rights to you, though. So what does Evan want?
Evan's afraid of his ankles. He doesn't want to play because he's had such bad ankle injury history.
Has he?
Yeah. But,
So we got about 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. What are you thinking of this game tonight? What do you think the keys are for the Suns? Like, you give us your breakdown. We'll put you on the spot here.
First
Let's
of
see
all,
what you
the
got.
keys are don't play Ayton, so we're extra small. Then the key is I hope that we see. Here's the only downside to wanting to lose to you guys, because we really do. We're desperate to lose. It's like, yes, because we've had a awakening, right? Like at least I have. I can't speak for Coach, but I know I can speak for Salt. I've come to Jesus that we had really better not play the Lakers or the Clippers. Like, I was on Suns juice before. I'm glad I don't have to say this on my own podcast. This is a nice, like,
we do
You could
keep
admit it
things.
without not really.
We do keep things a little bit more PG than you guys.
No. I don't need to curse or anything. It's just it's just I'm glad I'm not saying this in front of Suns fans. I have come to terms, right? Like, we're screwed. we're not big enough, and DA won't play hard against AD and Drummond because he's scared. So it's like we don't have a big when we go up against teams that Ayton is afraid of.
Is it like when he goes up against really good bigs, or is he just the type to maybe just shrink from the moment in general?
Sometimes he comes out and he's just got this energy. He's just got this like fire, and he's flexing and he's acting like he has testosterone when he doesn't. But when it comes to big time matchups, we were shocked that he played Gobert well. He played Gobert very well the last time he played him. And it was like, Jesus, maybe he did turn the corner. But no, then it was just right back to, oh, Andre Drummond, I better not. So I don't know why he's not afraid of Nurkic. Does he seem afraid of Nurkic when he plays you guys, or does he? I can't even.
I don't think he would be. Nurkic isn't Drummond or AD. He's not like a big athletic freak.
But if I was you, that's why I would want him to play in this game, is because like Nurkic will do a lot better than Cantor did, but he's still going to get some alley-oop dunks and some easy buckets against our defense. So that might get his confidence back going.
As far as I understand, man, we legitimately want an L. Like, it's not even a joke anymore. Like, it's like, this is the first time in my life, definitely all season, that I'm going to watch a game and root for the other team.
I don't get it though, because I think it's more likely you guys catch the Jazz than fall to the Clippers.
We'd have to win out, which I guess if you're considering San Antonio, because that's the team we play 2 more times right after y'all.
Well, you guys wouldn't have to win out because you have the tiebreaker with Utah, right? And Utah's 50-20. You guys
so
are 48-21.
We just need to tie them.
Utah would have to lose out, and you guys would have to win 2 or 3, or you'd have to win out, and Utah. If you guys win out, because like you guys can beat San Antonio twice in a row. If you guys win out, Utah only has to lose one of their final 2 games. And Donovan Mitchell is hurt, and maybe Mike Conley comes back.
So Coach said it perfectly. He says, no way the Jazz are going to get beat by trashy teams. Like,
well, who are they playing?
They've got a super easy lineup coming up.
I'll look it up.
I'll check it here.
They play the Kings, who are going to be missing half their team.
The Kings and who else?
I don't know who their last game is against.
Who's going to be the first to get it? I always race Eric on this.
I usually just leave a million windows up so I can just go right there.
Yeah, that's smart. They play. Jeez, my app's all glitchy.
They play the Kings on Sunday.
They play the Kings on Sunday.
And Thunder Friday.
Kings, Thunder.
Yikes.
That's
You're
a
right.
W
You're
and
right.
a W.
Yeah.
So we need to do what we need to do to avoid LA. It's sad. It's embarrassing. I'm not proud of it.
Here's the thing, though. They could easily lose that playing game and fall to 8th. Like, all it takes is Steph getting hot, if that's who they end up going against. All it takes is Steph getting hot. And LeBron isn't, like, he has a couple games to ramp up, but, like, I feel like he's not going to have a rhythm, you know? So,
yeah.
And also at the same time, like, I kind of want you guys to face the Lakers because I'm already rooting for you guys. Honestly, just because of, your guys' podcast, I'm rooting for you guys more than, like, I would have never rooted for you guys, no offense, but
of course
you guys changed that. But like anybody who plays the Lakers, I'm rooting for them, and I think you guys are good enough to give them a series, and that would be entertaining. That'd be fun to watch. So like, I mean, it's definitely the worst matchup. It kind of sucks to go all season, get the 2 seed, and get rewarded with the Lakers, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they could easily lose a playing game. Utah might lose one of those games. Crazier things have happened. Or I guess you guys could fall to 3 and take the Mavericks or the Blazers.
I really thought we could give the Lakers problems. I thought we could honestly. I mean, this is showing my embarrassing side. I really thought we could give them a series fully healthy. Lakers. Oh, yeah. Was I wrong? Okay. Because AD was falling down every 30 seconds, clutching a part of his body, a new different part of his body every time.
Sounds like AD.
Just injuring himself. Meanwhile, he gets up and drops 42 and 12 on us. I mean, it was like watching a man in his driveway playing with his children. Okay? So that's us fully healthy and clearly trying versus them without even like a 50% LeBron. Now, I realize 50% LeBron could come in and gum things up because he's not playing defense. It could kind of ham up the inner workings. But they could just sit LeBron and beat us. Because
I don't think so. I think you're not giving your guys enough credit, to be honest, man.
They just beat him at full strength the other day without LeBron.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, AD was falling all over the court, hurting himself, and he still managed to look like a god against us.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't going to drop 42 every isn't that what you brought in Jay Crowder for?
For AD?
Just I mean, the dude is short, but long wingspan, plays a lot bigger than he is. Like, you're not going to stop AD like with an individual effort. You're going to have a good scheme and play good team defense on him to slow him down. The thing is, you guys actually do that, and you guys have a coach that helps you do that. So I wouldn't just assume he's going to drop 42, because Monty seems smart. You know, if he drops 42 in game one, or maybe he's already doing this, he's going to adjust based on where they're struggling. So, I mean, Jake Crowder, I don't know. There's like no one guy you can just throw up against AD and he's going to stop AD. Nobody's going to stop AD, but it's not like you guys don't have somebody to throw at him, and it's not like you guys don't play good team defense.
Okay, I might be the only person on my podcast that feels this way, but in my opinion, the best person you can throw on him is Torrey Craig, because Torrey Craig is at least he's like at least Torrey is like a whole.
He's physical,
maybe two inches taller than Crowder. It feels like, and he's got like 20 pounds on him. Man, maybe 10 pounds. Crowder's actually kind of muscular. He's got a little bit of weight, and he's got definite height on him. I would feel more comfortable with him. What's up?
Jake Crowder's standing reach is only 8'3.5". Never mind. I was thinking it was like 8'7".
That's you're probably thinking
that
Bridges.
Undersized.
And Bridges is a paperweight, bro. Like, you put him down on top of a stack of paper so they don't blow away. Like, he weighs like nothing. You should see LeBron back down Mikal. It's like, hey, bro, it's cool that you're long. Now let me just drive you backwards and dunk over you, because there's nothing you can do. I mean, they're a bad matchup for us, just like the Clippers are a bad matchup for us. Nightmare.
I mean, I think that's the case for almost every team, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to match up with AD at the 4. Like, honestly, you might just have better luck putting Ayton against him. But then that goes back to your point.
But then who's going to guard Drummond? You know?
I mean, but Drummond ain't a threat like that. You just got to box him out. You got to keep him off the boards. Like, Ayton has to guard AD, and then he has to control the boards. Like, that's a tall task. I wouldn't have a ton of confidence in him being able to do both those things. But, like, that's your best bet then. I mean,
go back to the Kaminsky Ayton lineup.
Shit, I would.
At least Kaminsky got the size and can play the 4.
He's an actual 7-footer, unlike our fake 7-footer, you know?
See, this is why it sucks that Zach Collins got hurt. Because Zach Collins is like a 4-5. Like, he can shoot. He can guard on the perimeter a little bit. So he can play the 4, but he's a legit 7-footer. And he's like a good defender. He's a legit, like, maybe not a legit 7-footer, but he's listed as 7 feet.
If he's listed at 7 feet, then I would take him at their word, because I don't know if you remember, but last year they did crack down on that. It might have been last year or 2 years ago, where they're like, all right, guys, for real, take your shoes off.
So, like, you could play Zach Collins at the 4 if he's healthy, and he's barely played the last 2 years, which sucks. But, like, defensively, he's a solid match because he has the foot speed to guard on the perimeter a little bit, but he also has the size. It's hard to find those guys, though. It's hard to find those guys, so that's why I think they're just a matchup problem for pretty much anybody that plays them. But that'll be interesting in a one-game play-in with Golden State, is you're going to have Draymond on them. So that'll be fun to watch if that's the play-in.
Draymond on Ayton?
On AD.
On AD.
Yeah, see,
he can handle. If anyone is built to handle him, I would say he's a lot closer.
Yeah. We talked about this when the Blazers played the Lakers the game before they played the Suns. Everyone thought Rocco got destroyed in that game defensively, but I'm of the opinion that if you're not going to double team him, you just make him make tough shots, and he's going to hit a high percentage of them most likely. You just can't let him go like insanely crazy or get dunks and lay-ins. But if you're forcing him into turnaround jumpers every time, and you're not double teaming him, then I can live with that, no matter who's guarding him. But if you want to truly shut him down, you have to send a double. So I don't think it really matters who's guarding him, for either of our teams at least.
Yeah,
I agree.
So you guys want to lose this game. Do you think the Suns will try and lose this game? Because I don't think they will.
That's a good question, because it is completely antithetical to what Monty has been doing for our team this whole year. This whole year has been about hard work, nose to the grindstone, whoever's playing hardest plays, and then to be like, now that we're here and we're scared of the Lakers, like, I don't know if he's going to I don't know if he wants to admit that to his own team and tell them, hey, remember when we used to tank every year? We're going to do that for just a few games. And, like, he's not pulling people to tank. Like, Now tonight, though, this whole Ayton being injured, doesn't that feel a little late?
I didn't hear anything about him. I mean, if you guys didn't hear anything about him, then that seems
I heard
a little...
he's listed as questionable, which he hasn't been listed as questionable like all season.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong
What's he
on that.
listed with?
It's a knee. It's a knee. Yeah, it's a knee issue or something. Yeah, knee tendonitis or something.
Knee tendonitis. Yeah.
He's scared of Nurkic.
Sore knee. Yeah. Here's the deal, though.
That sounds like rest. When they say it's a sore knee, that sounds like rest.
The Clippers are currently playing the Hornets right now. They're up 1 in the second quarter. That game is going to be over before this game. If they lose that game, all you'd have to do is, I mean, it'd be really hard to lose on purpose and lose both games to the Spurs. So even if you did lose tonight, you still might get the 2, even though the Clippers play the Rockets and the Thunder the last 2 games. So you might lose your team that way, doing it that way, and still be in the 2 seed and have to face the Lakers.
Great point, man.
So
what's the tiebreaker between them? It's the Clippers?
I think it's the Clippers, right?
Gabe?
They definitely have it on us. Oh my God, they have it on us. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we know we don't want them. Now, that is interesting, though, because I spent, so I don't know if you guys caught it. I think you were in there for a second. We did this podcast with Spurs fan Gary and Romp. And because my guys weren't able to go with me for very long that night. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't have hit stop, man. I shouldn't have ended it. We did like a 2 almost 3 hour podcast, and then the 2 of them and me talked for 2 more hours. It was like a 5-hour sports conversation. I shouldn't have turned it off, but they got to me, man. Like, they really got to me. Like, they explained to me things that I have forgotten. So maybe this would be a good time to re-explain them to Suns fans, any Suns fans that are listening. And this is something that Portland Trailblazers fans already know, but this is something that's been so long for us Suns. Of course we've forgotten. It's just one of those things that gets lost in the sauce. And that is, these regular season games are damn near a different sport than they are in the playoffs. The way teams are going to play you, the intensity, the fact that we have beaten, as Suns fans, these teams, it's got me all hyped. Like, yo, we beat the Jazz 3 times. We own them. That's not necessarily the case. And we used to know that, man. You see, the Suns used to be kind of good. I don't know if you remember the 7 seconds or less.
I remember.
When we were beating the crap out of people and scoring like 134, 135 points a game with D'Antoni, and we couldn't be stopped. And we were top of the charts, baby. Like, we were number 1 in the NBA frequently. But what did they always say about us? Yeah, but
can't win in the playoffs. Come
playoff time, they're going to have to play half-court basketball, Eric. They're going to play versus the Spurs. And so, but here's the thing. We, as Suns fans, knew that too. We didn't get so high on ourselves when we were number 1 because we knew the Spurs were coming down the pike. And that's just something that has gone down the memory hole, and we don't know that anymore because all we know is, hey, look at Chris Paul and this new team. We're so excited. But people need to step back and realize that this playoffs, man, it's going to be a completely different animal. And so they got to me. They explained that to me, and I remembered my feelings from a decade ago or more, and I thought, damn it, they're right. Like, I shouldn't be so – I need to temper my expectations.
You know what's hilarious about that? We've obviously won 9 out of 10, and it's like everyone's forgotten that like this isn't the playoffs, and the minute the playoffs start, we're gonna have all those same problems again here in a week. And so yeah, we have the opposite. Like, we're all feeling ourselves right now because we've won 9 out of 10, but the bottom line is we still have all the issues that we're gonna have here in a week. Our defense sucks, and we are going to have Dame get trapped and taken out of games, and we don't really have a lot of counters for that, and it's going to come back to bite us. So I absolutely understand that point there, but I don't think it really matters what team you're playing. And at least I will say for the Suns, they have a coach that can maybe change a few things in the playoffs or make an adjustment in a series.
That's true. Yeah. It is nice to have Bonnie.
I mean, we won 13 games in a row the season we got swept by the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Like 13 games in a row late in that season.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my goodness, we're so good. We could get the 3 seed and we're going to face the Pelicans. The Pelicans, they sweep us. Because we don't have an answer for Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis trapping Damian Lillard.
It's crazy, man.
And what's funny about that is, dude, I mean, Al-Farouq Aminu was our starting for that series. And everybody said, oh, well, he's not a good enough shooter to take the pressure out of the trap. You know, like Dame gets the ball out of the trap and they're leaving him open. And he's just not a good enough shooter to beat the trap. And it's his fault. In that series, he made over 3 threes a game, shooting 43% from 3. And everybody blamed him. Well, now it's like you got Norman Powell and Robert Covington as your starting forwards. There is absolutely no excuse for not being able to deal with the trap. So, like, the only way we're going to have playoff success is if Stotts takes his head out of his, you know what, and coaches a proper series. Because if he goes into that and we just run Dame into the trap, or run pick and roll 40 feet away from the rim, maybe we can get away with it if we play the Nuggets. But if we play the Clippers, it's going to be like Ibaka's mobile. Zubac is underrated in terms of mobility. It's just going to be, Dame's going to get trapped. We're not going to have an answer. So it's going to turn into isolation basketball out of that, and then you're going to have Dame and CJ isolating against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. That's why we just really want to avoid the Clippers, because that's just offensively, it's going to be rough.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they're in the 3 right now?
They're in the 3 right now.
So that's another thing, too, is like I know, Saul, Coach, and I, we want to play y'all for selfish reasons. Like, mainly, like, we feel like we match up better, but also, like, this podcast, for real, is like the main thing. It would be, everybody knows, like, it would be so fun to be able to go on with you guys all the time. But for like a whole series, God, a 7-game series would be sick. I could see
only games that we win. I might be too salty.
Right? No, I've come all the way back down to earth, even when it comes to the Blazers, because y'all have the experience. The format of these games is going to be completely different. Stotts is a beast. Just kidding. And I don't see any reason why you guys couldn't take a 7 and beat us. I don't see any reason why you guys couldn't upset us in 6 or 5. I'm that low on the Suns right now. Like, wow. I know. It's weird. Is it just because you guys have been struggling lately? They were trying the last couple of games, Tori. They were trying to win and they lost. They weren't throwing those games.
That Warriors game they had somewhat control of that game all game long, and then it comes to the last 3 minutes and it looked like Golden State from 4 years ago, where they just go on this massive run, hit these threes, and win the game. And it was just like, you guys weren't guarding anything. It seemed like the final 2-3 minutes of that game, and it was just like, that's not the Suns team that I saw play against the Blazers.
It's true. It is muddy, right? It's not just so clear cut like we were trying and we lost. There's a lot to point to that suggests that maybe we weren't trying, but I don't understand telling Chris Paul, hey, go out there and play substantial minutes, but lose. Like, sit him.
Yeah, bench him. Yeah.
Sit him. Like, what's with the Kabuki theater? Like, who needs this? Like, you're a great coach. You're going to win Coach of the Year, maybe, probably. Tell everyone, like, yeah, we're resting CP3 because we think we can handle the Warriors or some shit. Or, hell, lie and say it's a knee issue, like you're lying about Ayton tonight because you don't want to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Something. But don't play him. Don't play old man Paul and risk him and tire him. So that's why it's hard to believe. Like, I don't know. Maybe they just thought they had the win. Maybe it's just the players not responding to what he's saying because it's the end of the season and they think they've got it and they're playing against a team they thought they were going to beat. So they're just like, we don't got to close out 100%. Yes, you do. Against the Warriors, you absolutely do.
I think tonight, though, I've been trying to clarify this rule. I can't find anything official on it. Considering it's the last week of the season, I doubt they would enforce it too much. But since this game got switched to national television, I think there are some rules against teams resting players just for rest reasons.
Okay.
So I think they could get penalized in some way. But obviously, it wouldn't be anything but like a fine or something. But I think since it got switched to TNT, they have to maybe play their starters unless there's a legit injury or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really happy this game's on TNT though, since you bring it up.
Yeah, me too.
We can't stand our play-by-play guy. We hired
Really?
a play-by-play commentator who had basically zero play-by-play experience. Like,
Ew.
Great guy, just kind of wrong fit.
So it was like a Jason Witten
like
situation.
He's more of a football guy. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but he's like not a guy who he's like a play-by-play guy. Jason Witten was like color commentator. Right?
Yeah, he came in and it was like, "Hey, you're a good-looking guy. You can speak well." He was terrible, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Witten was just terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing. At least he was like a former like high-profile athlete, though. Like
Yeah.
that's not what this is. So it's
This
Yeah,
is just some guy who got a degree and sucks.
he played at the University of Oregon. He was like on an NFL team, but like I think it's 5 career receiving yards and was in the NFL for 7 years as like a practice squad.
Damn.
I don't know the exact story, but like completely fine guy. You know, it's not personal. And I've always said this. It's like, how are you going to hire a guy with no experience and just throw him in to the fire like that into a job that he's not ready for and might not have the skill set for? Because you don't even know if he has the skill set or not, because you haven't even really seen him do it. He commentated in the bubble, which is like, yeah, they're not at the games and they're still not at road games, but regardless, it's like you got 30 play-by-play commentator jobs across the league, and you're hiring a guy with no experience. It was basically just kind of like a cheap hire.
Yeah.
So yeah, every time the Blazers play on national TV, I'm happy.
He was probably a Stotts hire, you know?
he makes so
Can't
many
blame Stotts for that.
excuses.
I'll blame Stotts for him, bro.
And it's probably he's told to make all these excuses. I don't know, but he makes so many excuses. We'll lose a game by like we lost to the Hawks in like after losing going to commercial. He's like the Blazers lose a game in which they flew in at 10:30 in the morning and on the second night of a back-to-back and then go straight to commercial. It's like what?
Damn.
Like
I mean,
it's
that's,
just
that's pretty normal. I don't blame him for all that stuff, but yeah, it's.
I'm not.
Do y'all have anybody with personality who used to be a Blazer? I mean, trying to think.
It's just hard to bring players in as play-by-play guys. Normally, they're better as color commentators, and I like our color commentator. Chiefin doesn't like our color commentator, but I like our color commentator. But other than that, yeah. So I'm happy this game's on TNT.
Yeah. So who's it going to be tonight?
TNT.
I mean, but like, do we know like who specifically?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take anybody though. Honestly, I like Reggie Miller more than most people. So, anyway, we gotta wrap this up. Eric has to bounce. We should be able to catch you tonight on the post-game show.
Definitely.
Hopefully, we're
Good
both
luck.
happy.
I hope you get your L.
Yeah.
Yep.
For reals. I mean,
Yep.
please.
Hopefully,
Please.
we're both happy. Watch us both be mad, Eric, on the post-game show.
that
That'll
would be
funny.
You guys lose and we win and we don't want it. Ugh.
Especially if you win by 1 or 2.
Well, you'll know the results of this Clippers game. That might change the equation here if they lose. I just don't see how you could fall to them. You'd have to tank 3 games in a row. Yeah, that'd be tough. What's the score of that game? Let me find it. You got the Hornets up 47-44. That's good. I picked the Hornets in picks against the spread. Eric picked
Clippers
the
were up like 8 or 10 early.
They were.
Who
I
would've
don't like
thought-
that the Heat
who
are up
would've thought
19-12.
Who would have thought LaMelo Ball would actually step in and be this great this fast, man?
We were LaMelo's 2 biggest haters. So
Dude, I'm
not us.
You couldn't hate him more than me, bro. Like I'm embarrassed of some of the things I said about him.
We have
You hit a
video
lot of
of
guys, though.
I hate his dad. That's where it all stems from.
Yeah.
I just don't like his dad. You know.
But what were you going to say, Eric? I'll let you end off with whatever you want.
Enjoy the game, everyone. Thanks for coming on, Gabe. It's been fun having you.
Anytime, man. Thank you, guys.
Yep. We will see you guys later tonight with the Blazers Uprise post-game show going live around 9:30 Pacific time. Follow me on Twitter at ToryJonesYT. Eric is at HoopsJock. Gabe, what's your Twitter?
Gabe Von Carter, like Javon Carter, at Twitter.
Yep. So go and follow Gabe if you
Thanks,
want
guys.
to. And we will see you later tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your night and enjoy the game. Until next time, as always, peace out.
Take it easy.
Go Blazers.